There is a pipeline project that's planned, a high pressure gas pipeline that's planned preliminary to run through Medina County and other surrounding counties. Counties that are rich with wildlife, have ecosystems, have large park systems, and it's been something that over the past few years I've been following, and I've gotten to know the elected officials who are dealing with the proposal, as well as the people in the community who are really concerned about that precisely, what the impact on the environment will be. And when they've gone and voiced their concerns to people like my opponent, at one point he actually said because of the risk of terrorism to the companies, he wasn't going to speak to the environmental risk. Well, that's not what people wanted answers to. They wanted answers to, are you going to be putting a pipeline that could explode next to my house? Because they could do that, and in some areas they're planning on doing that. Are you supportive of bills that were put in the legislature that actually makes it so that you lose your right to property in the case of oil and gas surveyors come into your land? You can't prevent them legally from surveying or messing with your property. And they wanted to know that if you're going to put a compressor station that's putting tons of carcinogenic chemicals into the environment, into the air and the water, is that going to be within a radius of our local schools? And the answers are pretty obvious to the people paying attention, but our representation doesn't see it as a big enough issue to step up to. And as a scientist, as a young person, I know that it's a serious issue, but I don't know that our representation actually understands that. And with regards to the debate on the climate, I don't even like to necessarily even call it climate change, because this is just the environment. We're alive. We've got to live here. This is our community. This is our home. These are our children have to grow up here. And so it's not just a matter of climate change, which is a result of years and years of these policies that ignore impact upon environment. This is about, do we care about our community? Do we care about the drinking water that we have and what chemicals we might be absorbing as a result of that? And just a few weeks ago, we put out a graphic on my campaign discussing chromium regulation, because in the Aaron Brockovich film, the chemical that was doing such harm to the people and killing people in that community in California is not regulated in the state of Ohio. And actually, the EPA has a policy in place that does not address the highly cancerous cancer-causing chromium-6. They address all chromium. They don't actually regulate that specific chemical. And when we brought this up in the campaign, my opponent's response was, well, it's not a problem. Well, ask somebody who lives next to an industrial center whose chromium levels are higher than they were in some areas in Hinckley, California, and let's see if they have a problem. And because in my view, if you have the title representative in your name, you need to be representing the issues and concerns of the people of your district, especially when it's make or break, and especially when it's life or death. And I'm not seeing that. And so, I don't like to talk about the environment in the abstract sense. It's a here and now sense. It's a right now this is happening, even if we're not paying attention to it.